Hello and welcome to Test Anxiety. I am Sonia Waddell of Dove Counseling Center. In just a minute, I'm going to get the slide up and ready for you to watch. So thank you for joining me today. And again, I'm Sonia Waddell. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I have a private practice located in Marietta, down the street from Marietta Square. I have been providing therapy for nearly 10 years. My specialty is working with individuals who experience anxiety disorders, which includes phobias and trauma. I want to take a few minutes to explain what trauma is, and then we'll go into the presentation. Trauma is when an event or events happen in someone's life that disables their ability to cope and affects them mentally, physically, psychologically, and socially. For example, someone got in a car accident and they felt that they were traumatized, they almost died, and they can't drive anymore. So they can't drive, nor can they be a passenger. So that's trauma. A little bit about me. I started off working in the child advocacy world with sexual abuse kids, and I went and worked in the school systems, in elementary, middle, and high schools, providing therapy. A little bit different from the school counselors. So I have seen test anxiety firsthand. And in my practice, I began seeing clients at age 12. So thank you for joining me today. A little bit about me. And just want to know who can benefit from this presentation. Students of all ages. We have, those that are married with families who have gone back to school, which is awesome. So all students of all ages can benefit. Parents and caregivers, school counselors, better ways to help your students, teachers, social workers, and tutors. Some of you may be tutors, and you know that the student you're tutoring studies, and they get the information when they're with you, but they inform you that they didn't do well on a test. And so we're going to talk about that. So here's the outline for today. What is anxiety and how is it different from stress? Because they are different. How does anxiety begin? We're going to talk about some symptoms of anxiety. I'm going to give you skills to use to help you so that you can be able to take tests. And you may be wondering, does me or my child, or even maybe both of you, need therapy? Great question. Right. You may wonder, is this anxiety or is this stress? What am I dealing with? So let's define the two, and then I'll give you some examples. Anxiety is excessive fear or worry about the future or near future, like worrying about tomorrow. That's the future, with intrusive thoughts. So thoughts that are just continuously plaguing your mind. And then stress is a feeling of pressure or strain about something that is happening in the present. I'm going to give you examples of those so you can have a good understanding of what it is. So you go to class and the teacher and the instructor says, take out a pencil, we're going to have a pop quiz. Okay, so the person begins to sweat, perspire really bad. Hands are sweating, their arms are perspiring really bad. Leg begins to shake. That is stress because it's happening right in that moment. They feel this pressure, this strain on them, okay? Anxiety is about, again, the future with intrusive thoughts. For example, so-and-so is going to be out for a month, so I'm going to need you to give your presentation. And the guy says, okay, boss, no problem. He goes into the bathroom, his chest, he begins to sweat, his face becomes clammy and pale, he feels that he can't breathe, and okay. This has not happened. It's going to happen in 2 weeks. But he has anxiety about that. And so he starts thinking on his way to the bathroom, I'm terrified of public speaking. I just know I'm going to get up there, I'm going to fall, I'm going to freeze. Not only that, I'm going to lose my job. Then I won't have any income. I'm going to lose my house. My wife is going to leave me. So the intrusive thoughts, one after another, which causes the body to have the reactions, the heart palpitating, the profuse sweating. The mind and the body are supposed to work together. So the body takes its cues from the mind. And because of these intrusive thoughts in the mind, his body has no choice but to react to it. So that's how the body sensations come about. There is a term called testophobia. And that's when abnormal or persistent fear in exams is caused by a negative experience. So somebody had a bad experience in 3rd grade with the test. They thought, oh, I studied, I got this right. They took the test and they get the results back and they see they have an F. So ever since then, they had this fear of taking exams. Okay, so that is testophobia. Now, some people can have anxiety about a test, but not testophobia. For example, they have a huge test coming up. They do well in high school or college, but they need to take an exam to become a lawyer. Or they need to take this exam to get into graduate school, or they need to take the GED. So other tests, no problem, but this major test, they have anxiety about. Okay, that doesn't mean that person has testophobia. It's just with that one major exam. So I just want to be clear on that. It's the difference between being fearful of taking a huge test as opposed to every time you have a test, there is this frozen fear. Okay. Stress and anxiety both affect the body and the mind and have some symptoms in common. So that's why sometimes it's hard to differentiate the difference between anxiety and stress because they have some common symptoms. So now let's talk about how anxiety can manifest, and it can manifest in 2 ways. One pathway is through thoughts. The other way is through association. So with the thoughts, I gave an example earlier of how the guy is told by his boss that he has to give this presentation in 2 weeks, and the thoughts are racing. So it goes from, oh my goodness, I'm gonna fall, I'm going to get fired, I'm going to lose my job, not my job, yeah, my job too, or fire his job. And also I am going to, everything's just going to be awful for me. My wife is going to leave me, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So those are the thoughts, okay? The associations, how that can manifest. This lady was robbed 5 years ago, okay? And the guy that robbed her was wearing a red t-shirt. So she's in Walmart looking at makeup. So she's reading the labels and very into that. Well, as she gets ready to turn the corner, the aisle, she sees a guy with a red shirt and she freezes. Why does she freeze? Because there is an association, and it happens with the senses. What she sees, the red shirt, what someone smells, touches, tastes, and even the weather conditions. So there's a part of the mind, not the entire mind, will link what happened in the past to something to what's going on now. And it says it's danger. It sends a message to the mind that this is dangerous, and so the body will respond. So it's like an alarm. The alarm goes off in a particular place in the mind, and it sends a signal to the body that they're in danger, and so then the body will form these associations inside these sensations of the heart beating, sweating, leg shaking, things of that nature. Okay, so what are some symptoms of anxiety? I broke it down into 3 categories. So physically, sweating, increased heart rate, tingling or numbness in the arms, fingers, or face, increased body temperature, dizziness, lightheaded, dry mouth, nausea, shortness of breath. Visually, that person can get hives or red blotches in their face, pink dark flush of the face or chest, increased blinking. Whenever somebody is blinking a lot, they're dealing with stress, possibly, and anxiety. Internally, racing thoughts, just talked about that, feeling of panic. So people have panic attacks, They feel they're having a heart attack, and you know they're really not. You cannot have a heart attack and panic attack at the same time. Tightness in chest or stomach, digestive issues such as increased need to vomit, headache, inability to move or react, and memory loss. So those are some symptoms of anxiety. And again, some symptoms of anxiety are similar to symptoms of stress. So let's talk a little bit about the mind and what is going on. Because anxiety is not the entire mind, it's a part of the mind. So I'm going to use this metaphor of an iceberg, the Titanic. There's a part of the iceberg that could see. That part of the mind is rational, positive, focuses on finding a solution, doesn't dwell on problems, focuses on what we want. Too much stress causes us to go to the primitive mind or the emotional mind, also known as the subconscious mind. So we just use the emotional mind for the term for today. That part of the mind, remember our metaphor, the iceberg, is the part of the iceberg that you cannot see, that is hidden. This part houses the fight, flight, or freeze response. So remember earlier we were talking about trauma. I defined that when it affects an event happens to somebody's life and affects them emotionally, physically, mentally, socially. The emotional mind houses the trauma response. So someone will fight, they will flight, meaning they will run or they will freeze. Also the emotional mind, its goal is to ensure survival by any means necessary. So if it feels that it needs to have a panic attack for you to survive, then that's what it'll do. Emotional mind is also negative and obsessive. It stores a template of how we survive in dangerous situations and refers back to them to tell us how to respond in similar future situations. For example, the lady I told you about earlier who 5 years ago was mugged and the guy had on the red shirt, this lady froze. She did not scream, she did not run, she didn't do anything, she froze. So now at Walmart, she sees this guy with a red shirt on, not the same guy. For her survival, emotional mind tells her to freeze again, don't move. So that's what she does, okay? Emotional mind focuses on the worst guy who was told he has to give this presentation in 2 weeks. His focus was on, I'm gonna get up here, I'm going to look crazy, I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna lose my job, I'm going to lose my wife, I'm gonna lose everything. He went from, okay, boss, I'll do it, to the worst possible scenario, okay? Emotional mind focuses on what we don't want, which is not good. We need to focus on what we do want, right? Emotional mind thinks we're in danger and will respond. How will it respond? In anger, depression, anxiety. Remember that alarm goes off and a part of your mind that says this is dangerous when it really isn't. Anxiety is like an illusion. You know how people do magic and they're creating this illusion of the coin disappearing, but it really didn't disappear. It was just moved to somewhere, another part of the body. That's what anxiety is. It's an illusion. It has the worst thing that could happen, but it hasn't happened. That's how powerful the mind is. Someone can make themselves think they are going to fail the test. No evidence that you're going to fail, but if you just by thinking that they're going to fail. So that's anxiety. Also, on the previous slide, we talked about memory loss. That is very common when people take tests. They have studied. They sit down, they are ready. So they think, read the first question, mind goes blank. That's because there are some thoughts or associations in the subconscious that the person believes about the test. I failed the test last time, I'm going to fail it again. That's a thought. Or the association, subconscious, they may not think it's consciously, but the feeling comes, oh my goodness, I didn't do well last time, so I'm not going to do well this time. This is a thought, just seeing the test. Subconscious says, I failed last time, I fail again. So not a conscious thought, but just sitting down and just being frozen. So I hope that makes sense to you. Someone can sit down on the test and think to themselves, oh my goodness, I failed last time, I failed again. Or a subconscious where it's no thought, it's just that sense of, remember the five senses: seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and the weather conditions? Just seeing the test subconsciously, they set themselves up for failure and their mind goes blank because of an association of what happened last time. Okay? And then lastly, mind can be on autopilot. Things are mindless. Mindless overeating, mindless anger outbursts, mindless nobody. People don't even know why they're doing it. And when you're doing things like this, you don't know why that person's in their emotional mind. And it's good news. Testophobia can be conquered. So I'm going to give you some techniques on how to do that. First thing I want to teach you is thought stopping. Thought stopping is simply stopping a negative thought. So when the guy who has to give this presentation starts saying, oh my goodness, I'm going to fall, immediately he needs to change that and says, okay, so let's say his name is Joe. Okay, Joe, he's doing self-talk. Don't think like that, think positive. You're going to go see a therapist, you're going to go to a yoga class, and you're going to get yourself together. Come on, Joe, get it together. So stopping a thought and thinking about something positive. Those thoughts must be stopped or else. The palpitations, sweating, different symptoms, okay? So that's thought stopping. Stopping a thought, thinking something positive, talking to yourself, having a mantra, a saying, okay? Mindfulness. Mindfulness is basically staying in the moment. So a good example of that is if you're driving, and let's say you're driving downtown. Downtown, you're on 75 going through Midtown. And your eyes on the road, but you also see to the left, Georgia Tech, and you also see to the right, Varsity. It's just staying in the moment, not thinking about what you have to do when you get home, just being in the moment, focusing on what you're doing right now. So as you're taking the test, focusing on the test, okay? Question 1, just staying in the present, reading that, not letting anything from the outside come in, like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do after I leave here today? Just focusing on the test, focusing on the here and the now, in other words. You first, close your eyes in a very serene place, taking a deep breath in, 3 breaths, inhaling, 3 breaths, exhaling. But I can't exhale that breath, but inhaling and exhaling, okay? And then after you do that, you picture yourself walking calmly to your class. Picture yourself taking out your pen or your pencil and sitting down, taking a deep breath, maybe reviewing some material. Picture yourself writing your name on the paper or circling, filling in the Scantron, the circles on the Scantron. Picture yourself reading question 1, and there's a smile on your face because you know the answer, and then moving on to number 2. You're picturing yourself going through the test. You get to number 5, you know that one, you flip the paper over, you're answering the next question. You are setting your emotional mind up for success by letting it know that it will be calm, alert, and strategic. If you read a question and you're not sure of the answer, you'll make a star, you'll circle the number. That's your strategy. So you're calm. If you feel the anxiety, try to come to you, and you know by your body, because your body is giving you cues. All you have to do is take a deep breath. Breathing, relaxing breathing is just like a mother holding her crying child. That's how relaxing and comforting it is to you. It's sending a message to your mind that there is no threat. And then the body will get the signal too. So guided imagery, you just picture yourself calm, taking the test, excited because you know the answers, and just moving along, calm, alert, strategic. You do this every day until it's time to take the test. You can do this on Friday too. By Thursday, you shouldn't have any problems using guided imagery. You will notice a significant difference in your mind and your body as you practice this technique. Okay? Some people get scriptures. I can do all things through Christ, and they say that as they're taking the test. And then again, positive affirmations. You may have a saying that you like that you can give yourself as you're taking the test. So you go to question 1. I can do all things through Christ, strengthens me. You read the question, answer it. All right, great, good job, Joe. Go on to the next. Question 2, read that. May have a positive affirmation. You saying that. All right, great. Going on to number 3. Okay, not sure the answer. It's okay. You're going to circle that. That's your strategy. So these are 5 simple techniques that can help you. If I had to choose one, I would choose 2. And I would choose the thought stopping and the guided imagery. Just picture yourself in the test environment, being calm, alert, and strategic. You can also do an anxiety screening. Do you have anxiety? You can take this and it will, rate it for you. If you are in the extreme category, you may want to think about seeing someone for that. Anxiety is like being in a jail. It can be conquered. You just have to know how, all right? Okay. So healing is a matter of time, but it is sometimes also a matter of opportunity by Hippocrates. Thank you for tuning in. Again, I am Sonia Waddell of the Counseling Center, Bringing Peace to Your Soul. I'm located on Spring Street, right near Marion Square. And please visit my website. I do accept major insurances. I do have employee assistance programs as well. So that's when some employers pay for their employees to have free sessions. Thank you again so much for joining me. If any questions about anxiety or testophobia, please send me an email or give me a call. Thank you again.